This past summer, my mom and I grew a garden, and I decided to document it. In the beginning of April, I began the process of unwinterizing or cleaning up the raised bed. Over the fall and winter, there was a pretty heavy layer of leaves and weeds happily growing. After a couple of hours on the first day, and other times throughout the week, the bed was cleared and compost from our compost bin was added. That's the darker soil that you can see. We definitely started very late because we planned to grow beans and it was already mid-April, which is a little too late to plant beans, but we tried it anyway. We planted the beans and lettuce.
Oh, I found a worm. That's good.
I never thought I would compile these videos when I took them, because it's pretty easy to see where I live, but in the late summer, we moved houses and no longer live here, so too bad, stalkers, I guess. The window is my mom's version of a cold frame to keep the lettuce happy. It's worked for us for years, and it allows the sun to get through while preventing bunnies and keeping it warm. The next week was calm with little rain, so we had to water our baby seeds a lot. May 1st, we made our way to the nursery to buy the plants we weren't going to grow from seed. We had fun picking out which tomatoes to get. And when we got home, we got straight to work planting. This is me planting the nasturtiums. I have fond memories of nasturtiums from when I would help my mom garden at the community garden in town. I am so thankful I did a synopsis of the plants here because I could not remember the names for the life of me.
All right, end of a big planting day. Nasturtiums, tomatoes. They're called mortgage lifter tomatoes right there. We've got a spicy bell pepper, and we have a yellow sweet bell pepper here. This one's not doing too great, but we'll see. This is big boy. We love big boy. And then these are cherry tomatoes. Two different kinds, but they're cherry tomatoes. And we set up a little walkway so we can get in and water them. And it's looking good.
So, 22 days without filming, and the garden was growing like crazy, and the weeds were starting to pop up too. I spent the rest of that day pulling up the weeds and trying to help our very pathetic beans grow up the trellis. While weeding on another day, I actually found an entire radish that Mom had planted from last year and never pulled up. It was overgrown and I had to cut it up to even get it out of the ground. I learned a lot of things about gardening this year. One of them being that every year, my mom alternates which side of the plot she plants the tomatoes, so that the soil isn't completely devoid of the specific nutrients that tomatoes suck up, and it balances out the plot. A couple of days later, we had our first harvest of little baby lettuce, which we mixed into our daily salad, and it was very, very tasty. Mom and I placed cardboard down where there were large empty swatches of dirt to prevent weeds. It may look ugly, really, really ugly, but it saves us a lot of work weeding, so we do it anyway. And here you can see the first little branch of baby green tomatoes, which made me very happy. I picked the first nasturtium, and I forgot to mention, my favorite thing about them is that you can eat them. The middle of June gave us our very first tomato harvest, which was very tasty. There's just something about a freshly picked tomato that has a little bit of dirt on it that just satisfies.
We have a pet yard bunny.
Yard bunny.
He hops right up to us.
He hops up and he eats all our food.
He says, "Thank you very much."
Really, he's nibbling.
Here's more of me eating tomatoes straight from the plant and being very happy and Italian. Mom and I drink a lot of cold tea in the summer, a lot of cold mint tea. Our absolutely dominating mint garden actually comes of use quite a bit. Some of the bigger tomatoes were growing and getting quite big as well. Our peppers did very well, and I can confirm that the spicy ones were quite spicy. That day, though, I harvested the regular one and cut it up to put in our salad. So, we're nearing the end of the video because all throughout the end of July and all of August, Mom and I were bombarded with packing and moving, and the garden was not as appreciated as it should have been. We still got a lot of tomatoes, but the lettuce was left to the bunnies and the peppers died of dehydration. When we stopped getting anything from the garden, Mom and I pulled it all out and got it ready for winter. Hopefully the people who moved in will continue and expand the garden next spring. As for us, we're planning on building raised beds in our new backyard, and this year planting the beans much, much earlier. Thank you for watching. I hope that this inspires you to grow your own garden, to either start one or start thinking about the spring and looking forward to it.